we'll have this discussion.
Discussion? What discussion?
This is a discussion.
Combustion.
Coming to you from Denver, Colorado, this is Discussion Combustion Podcast with your hosts, Kevin Batstone and Arthe Raw.
The sense of entitlement that people have is perplexing to a certain extent, because it's like, how are you more important than all these other 7 billion people walking around the planet? Like, people who have that mentality of like, you know, and sure, everybody has been there at some point, especially when driving a car, right? Like, everyone feels entitled, and that's okay in moderation. But for people who walk around and constantly act entitled on their daily routine and constantly judging people, like, they're probably miserable anyways. So it's like, you know,
that's true.
You don't pay them any mind because they're already living in their own personal hell of, like, not liking everything around them, so they don't enjoy their lives.
Yeah, and that's the energy they carry around with them. Mm-hmm. You know, it was like Paul Roseberry said a couple weeks ago on the show. He's like, you know, these are the type of individuals that will try to drag you to the ground so they can stand taller than you, just because they're having a shitty day, or they're mad at the world, or they're mad and, you know, jealous that somebody else is doing, you know, things that they aspire to do. You know, there's all this jealousy and this, it's just, it fuels this negative energy, I feel like. A lot of people are carrying that around, and they take it out.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I had a friend that was like that. And the bad part about our friendship was that it was very toxic, because she loved to see me be in a miserable place. I think it was just kind of like a misery loves company kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And for me, like, I loved when I had the upper hand and to just watch that look on her face where she could be like, this bitch. And I could be like, yeah, I am that bitch.
Are y'all still friends?
No.
No, okay.
That was the demise of that friendship, eh?
I mean, it went on for a long time, though. Like, this friendship went on for, like, ever. And people were like, why?
Friendship or competition?
People were like, why? Why does this happen? You know? We had a lot of fun together, but she's actually the one that kind of, like, got me into drinking, and probably drinking way too much. Because that was kind of her thing. Like, she loved to drink. And she'd be like, every day, like, let's go get a drink. And I'd be like, I gotta go home. Like, I got a kid at home. Like, I don't know. But, I don't know. Like, it was kind of like, she loved to watch me fail. And
it's terrible.
And what is it with people that, like, why? It's like what you said. It's because they want you to be on their failures.
Yeah.
And they want to have other failures around them so they don't feel like such a failure.
Yeah. And it's so funny because she called me up and she's like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, and we hadn't talked in like months. And she called me up and she's just like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm not doing anything. And she's like talking to me and she's just like, oh yeah, well, I have this great job now and I live with my boyfriend Tommy and we live in this big house, blah, blah, blah. And she was like low-key like throwing shade, and it was so funny because I was just so not bothered by it. She's like, oh, well, where do you work now? And I'm like, oh, I work at Amazon, because that's where I was working at the time. She's like, I'm surprised you work there. I thought you'd still be at Mad Greens. Like, I didn't think you'd, you know, find a better job or whatever. And I was just like, okay. And she was like, well, who are you dating now? And I'm like, the same person I've been dating for the last 3 years. She's like, I don't know who that is. You don't know who that is, but we were friends for, like, how long? You know what I mean?
Huh.
She's just, like, kind of, like, trying to gloat because she felt like she was in a better situation. And I was just like, we hung up the phone, and I sent her a message, and I was like, hey, I just want you to know, like, I'm really happy for you. Like, I never
That's a good approach.
needed
That's a real good
to,
approach.
like, put you down in order to feel better about myself. I just kind of enjoyed the competition. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure. Well, and that's, I mean, there's a right and a wrong way to go about it, right? There's the friendly competition, like what Arthe and I always do, you know, constantly giving each other shit. And then there's this like evil, I've never been able to pinpoint it, but I see it a lot amongst, you know, the younger demographic shit. I don't even know if age matters here, but a lot of people really, they get some sort of fulfillment out of watching other people's lives go in the toilet, or watching them struggle with certain things. Oh, did you hear so-and-so's going through divorce? They lost the house, this, that, and the other. And all this gossip and all this nonsense makes them feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
And it really comes back to something that you know, I listen to a lot of motivational stuff, and it's like, don't let someone else's perception of you become your reality.
right.
And it's, you know, cliche, easier said than done kind of thing, but it sounds like you've done well with that. Like, fuck that. You know, I'm doing me. I'm going to, you know, keep on grinding and move on. You know, and if you think that I was going to be stuck in the rut, then that's on you. You know, you got nothing to prove.
Well, at the same time, I think, like, everybody has their own struggles. Everybody has their own journey. And it never was like, oh, your journey is better than mine, so I feel bad about myself. Not for me, you know. I liked her probably for all of the wrong reasons, but I liked her for her, you know, and she kind of, I was in a really bad situation, and she kind of helped me get out of that situation. Not that it was an even better situation, but
it was
different than
still
where
progress.
I was. Yeah, you know what I mean? And so I was never, like, bitter toward her, but I think she was just in such a bad place herself that she wanted somebody else to be there with her. And anytime that I wasn't there with her, she was upset about it, you know? Like, it was bad. Like, it would just be to the point where we worked together. So we worked at one job together, and then we got a second job together, and then we got a third job together. So we just...
It's a lot of time.
all the time.
Yeah.
And it would be like if I came into work one day and I changed my hair or got a new outfit, she'd be like, "Oh, that outfit is so ugly. I don't know. I don't know why you wore that."
She wouldn't build you up. She wouldn't build you up on it.
At all. It was no like discretion in it at all. She'd just be like, "That's an ugly outfit. I don't know why you would wear that."
Damn.
And then I would like walk in and everyone would be like, "Oh my God, I
You
love
look so
that
good.
outfit."
Yeah, you killing it, girl.
And she would just be so upset.
Wow.
And I was just like, "Why are you mad about it?"
You know why people throw shade? Is because they don't create light. That's why. They want to throw shade because you're shining and they can't stand it, man. And it's so weird. And just like how misery loves company,
Yeah.
I feel like success loves company as well. You know, and that's why it's really important to recognize those kind of relationships that can be toxic and, you know, what am I really benefiting from involving my time with this person, you know, other than this competition, like this.
Yeah. Well, it was definitely toxic. And it wasn't until, like, we started hanging out with other people, and other people were like, "Do you notice this?" And I was like,
Okay.
"Yeah, no, I know. I'm just here." Because we're best friends, you know, type of situation. And then I was like, "Yeah, you're right. Like, I should probably do something else because that's not a good situation." But that's definitely a good point. Like, when you are trying to be successful, you want to surround yourself with people who are successful.
Absolutely. It pays dividends. You know, because if you're going to surround yourself with the people that are negative and constantly, you know, don't have money and they're complaining and just negativity all the time, it becomes very toxic. And, you know, it pulls from what's going on. I mean, to their sake, maybe, you know, you can be a bit of a motivation to them, right? Being a successful individual, surround yourself with someone that's trying to pull you down. There's a benefit there. But it's always good to, I think, surround yourself with all kinds of people, whether they're successful, you know, on the same level, you know, because it's good to be a mentor and it's good to be mentored, I feel like, you know, and paying it forward and paying it backwards, so to speak. But I agree that the toxicity, the older I get, I don't like it. I don't want any part of it. You know, we don't need it. You know, and social media, how many times do I hype on that in this show, has been such a massive culprit in the game of keyboard warriors getting at each other,
and people comparing their lives to other people's
showcasing,
lives.
yeah, like what we said, you know, watching, and because people like to broadcast their life, looking for some sort of, you know, reaction and fulfillment from their peers.
Mm-hmm. It's so crazy too, and it's so easy to kind of get into that. I think I don't even try that hard, but I try kind of hard to avoid being too far into like watching other people's life and like getting on that train, you know what I mean? Because for what? You know what I mean? I've never, there's so many people in this generation that will be like, "Oh, I'm 22 and I'm not a billionaire, so I just suck." And it's like, you're 22. Like,
you're fine, honey. Keep
what
it,
the fuck?
Keep it moving.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like, okay, but you have your entire life ahead of you, and you could literally change your whole life in one day. And I don't think that enough people like realize how much you can change in like a 24-hour period. It's crazy.
So did you have? Would you mind sharing? It sounds like you had that experience, where like you had a moment, you had a day, where you flipped it. You flipped the script in one day. What, like?
My therapist would say, like, yeah, she'd be like, "I don't know. She told me last week. We've only been seeing each other for like 6 weeks, and she's like, it's crazy. It's like day and night from where you were to where you are now."
That's excellent.
And I'm just like, that's what you think.
Okay.
On the inside, like, no.
The battle continues.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. But, I mean, guess I've been through a lot of stages, but I just kind of embrace my own journey. You know, like, there have been times where I've been extremely, extremely low, and then, like, to see where I am now. And it's just, like, kind of taking a moment to really be proud of your own progress. I don't think, like, enough people do that.
Yeah.
You know, like, we're so good at being hard on ourselves, but we're never really good at, like, appreciating where we've come from and the steps that we've made and being, like, proud of ourselves and being like, yo, like,
it's so true.
look where I am now, you know?
That's epic.
Yeah.
And I want to echo that real quick for all the listeners, because that's such an important point. Like, humans are so quick to, like, have a goal, have your next goal, and even though you accomplish something, like, you already are moving on to your next goal, right? So, like, you kind of forget that you just accomplished that. So I feel like that's really important reminder for everybody is, like, you know, let's remind ourselves of how far we've come, and because that's success, that's free success energy.
Yeah.
You've already been successful. Like, you've already made that happen. You've already made hard decisions. You've made big changes. That's free success energy that you can just tap into at any time. And to have that, like, successful mentality and to remind yourself of success and how you're successful, I think that's epic. So I kind of interrupted you there, but I wanted to echo that point.
You're fine.
Mm-hmm.
But just kind of piggybacking off of that, though, I think a big part of it, too, is, like, just changing your mindset. Like, that's huge. If you change your mindset and, like, what you think success means to you, because just because success for somebody else is, like, being a billionaire and, you know, doing all this, just because that's their version of success does not necessarily mean that that has to be yours. And I was, like, in this relationship, and I felt like I had to tell him this all the time. Like, I don't need to be, I'm not a materialistic person. I was like, I don't need to be a millionaire or have a bunch of stuff in order to be successful. Like, that's not what I want for myself. So, you know, at the end of the day, like, when I die and I look back on my life, like, that's not what I'm going to measure my success in. So for everybody, it's different.
What are you going to measure it in?
I don't know. I guess, like, the quality of people that I spent it with, the things that I did, how I felt about the impacts that I made on other people.
I like that.
That's success right there. And again, it's different for everybody. I think for me, I view it as being, you know, happiness, fulfilled, enlightenment, joy, you know, doing things that bring you a sense of fulfillment and joy. You know, that to me is success. You know, you can put a dollar sign on it. Some people, you know, oh, I made it. I make this much money a year, so I'm at the top. There's nowhere higher to go. Well, there's always got to be another mountaintop a little bit higher, right? There's always another one to climb.
Well, because that's what they say. Like, people who have, you know, been through their demons, like, they battled their demons and they won, right? It was a hard fight, but they won. It's like you get to that point where, like, you feel you made it. You can never feel like you made it. It's like, so I had a long-term opiate addiction, and, like, I constantly have to remind myself that even though I've been clean for, like, you know, almost a year, like, that's still a demon that, like, is hovering over me. Like, it wants me to fuck up. And so, like, I can't get content. I can't. Like, I have to stay vigilant. I have to keep reminding myself of how far I come. Like what you're saying, Taylor, like I was straight up fucked my credit, always overdrawing my bank account to get more drugs, and, like, you know, letting that next check counteract that. And it was just a horrible cycle, you know? And so it's good to remind yourself of those things, like your hard times, because, like, it's a polar opposite of where I'm at now. And, like, knowing that, like, it makes me appreciate the day more, you know, because I'm doing things differently. I'm seeing the impact in my life. Like, my credit's going back up. I always got money in my bank now. I can always fill up my gas tank and get a meal if I want. Like, it's night and day. But it's good to have that reminder, because, like, it's so easy to be like, yeah, I made it. Like, I haven't done it in X amount of time, or whatever your goal is, or whatever you're trying to do. Like, it's so easy to be like, get complacent. And it's a challenge to always stay active and never become complacent, because there's always something to do, right? And we all need to relax, right? So that's part of being active, is actively treating yourself right. So you actively need to relax too. But, like, once you're done relaxing, go get it again.
Yeah. I feel like in this day and age too, like that's kind of what they promote to people, you know, and so that's another reason why people feel like that. But just like you were saying, like you have to be proud of like the steps that you made. You can't sit here and compare like where you're at to somebody else's progress.
Correct.
Because like that's never gonna work out for you. You're not the same people. And I don't know about everyone else. I think that I'm kind of an outsider on this, but I kind of enjoy the struggle. There is so much beauty in the struggle. You learn so much. You do so much while you're struggling. And those are lessons that you would never learn at the top of those mountains. You know what I mean? Like,
So true.
those are you're never going to pick
That's real
that up.
shit. That's some
Like,
real knowledge right there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Enjoy the struggle. Enjoy getting beat up.
Enjoy it, yeah. And the fact that you're able to acknowledge that is, because a lot of people get in that point where it becomes this like negative spiral. Like, I'm struggling, everything's going wrong, and they just can, they're just feeling sorry for themselves and complaining about this, that, and the other. But when you can appreciate those struggles, most successful people that I've talked to that have created their own businesses and have established happiness, they all said, I got here by struggling.
Yeah.
The failure is what got me to success.
Yeah.
Seeing the bottom before I saw the top and appreciating the climb. So I don't know if you can teach that kind of mindset, more or less just experiencing it, and figuring out what works and what doesn't work and just being in the trenches.
Yeah. I mean, I know for me, I've had, like, ups and downs, There's been times where, like, I thought I was going up and I thought this was the right hill to climb, and then, like, something brought me back down, and I was like, okay, maybe that wasn't for me, maybe I should walk away and try something else. And it's just been crazy, but it's also crazy to see, like, where I've come from just in the last year to where I'm at. I think a lot of people, like, took COVID as, like, a negative experience, but for me, a lot of positive things happened that wouldn't have happened if this wasn't our day and age, if this wasn't our world and this didn't happen. There's so many opportunities that, like, I don't think I would have or be at without it, So just kind of taking negatives and turning them into positives, too, sometimes can be a good thing.
Yes. That's every problem is an opportunity. All right, because it's an opportunity to overcome something, it's an opportunity to learn. Look, I have had so much shit thrown at me. Like, I welcome issues at this point in my life. Like, I expect there to be problems in my life, and that's something that I like welcome it. Like,
yeah.
I want that. I don't. So there's this one song. It's like, don't give it to me easy. I like a little challenge. Plus, it feels better when you take a little damage. Like that sort of stuff. That sort of stuff is so real, because it's like you walk on this path. You can walk on this path of, like, mediocrity and complacency and letting life happen. But are you really happy? Like, sure, your life's easy. Like, sure, it's cush. But, like, is it easy? Like, are you enjoying yourself? Like, that's the thing. Like, there's something about a challenge and accomplishing it. Like, I love that feeling. I love that. I love a little challenge. I love getting beat up. I love getting dirty. And I totally agree with what you're talking about. I like that.
Yeah.
Got to roll with the punches, man. I mean, this life will chew you up and spit you out if not. If you don't embrace the low times, shit. I learned that the hard way. In my early 20s, I took everything so damn seriously. Anytime something went wrong, man, it was like the end of the world for me. Oh, fuck, poor me, poor this, everything's going wrong, fuck this, that, and the other. It took me, going through therapy and anger management and getting into my early 30s before I was like, you know what? Instead of fucking bitch moaning and complaining, let me get off my ass and actually do something productive. Let's move the ball forward a little bit. Let's move forward, please. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you will get complacent. And that complacent mindset is going to convince you. You get stuck in a rut. And it's, complacency. Oh, it's okay. Just lay on the couch all day. Don't do shit. And that's not a good place to be.
Yeah, but it's easy.
It's
easy to give into that, and it's easy to, just be in that type of mentality. But it's kind of harder to get up every day and to really work at it and do the things that you want to do. It's so crazy. I did, like, this documentary one time, and it was on people who are in prison. So you watched it, or you were involved? No, I made it.
Okay.
And I got to interview people who were in prison, and we're not going to talk about how I got to interview them. That's another story.
Mm-hmm.
But It's crazy to think about, like, all those people. There's so many talented people who are in those predicaments, in those situations, and to talk to them about, like, how they got there and how they felt like, you know, they didn't have any other options. And now that they're there and they're kind of taken away from the realities of the world, how they can just kind of sit back and really realize, like, yo, what was I doing? And not everybody does, but a lot of them do. And it's hard to watch, and it was just a really life-changing experience. It's also just, like, really eye-opening. And it's kind of hard because then you get to see, too, like, the type of people, like, some of them come out and they're like, okay, I'm going to really make a change. And then some of them fall back into those same behaviors. And that's kind of the same thing where it is in life, but we're going constantly, that we don't take the time to really sit back and notice the little things, or, you know, really give it time the way that they have the time to do that, you know?
That's true, because you know, we're so busy. We're trying to get to work. We're trying to cook the next meal. Like we don't have reflection time. And when we do have reflection time, most people are dedicating that to a screen, and they're not even reflecting on anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
you know?
unfortunate.
And so that's one thing I've been struggling with recently, is my screen time. And like, what is this providing? Like, what substance is my brain digesting by, like, looking at the social media or watching YouTube? Like, what am I actually gaining from this time that I'm spending? Because time is being spent. And so that's such a good point, you know? Like, you know, you kind of, prisoners are almost forced into the solidarity and self-reflection. And if they're acknowledging and neutral, and that they acknowledge what led them there, then they're probably going to grow a lot more mentally than people that are out.
Yeah. It's definitely, like, it's crazy. A lot of them use different substances to cope, and then a lot of them don't. And I think they really kind of get a sense of, like, themselves almost, you know? And it's funny to know that, like, we as people, when we're at our lowest points, I think that's when we really grasp for, like, what truly matters to us and, like, who we really are, versus when we're at our high points. When we're at our high points, we're just like, you know, I'm untouchable. I don't have, you know, time to think about that or do that. So I don't think you get as much out of being on the mountaintop as you would coming from the bottom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, you know, the climb up is the beautiful part, right?
Yeah.
Difficult roads lead to beautiful destinations. You know, cliche statements, but they carry a lot of weight for sure. You know, if you grew up with a golden spoon in your mouth and you've never experienced hard times, you don't know what that looks like. You don't know what it looks like to go out there and hustle, you know, 12, 16-hour days and 2 jobs. And, you know, not that necessarily determines success. Everybody has their own story to write, but it's true. And I think it's important to be receptive and understanding that everybody comes from different backgrounds and different layers. And, you know, in this day and age, as you were touching on a little bit, we almost award complacency and reward the just stay at home, you know. We got Netflix, we got DoorDash, we got Drizzly. We got everything you need. We'll bring it right to your house. You don't even need to leave.
We're just sitting at home making everybody else rich.
For real.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what we're doing.
It's crazy.
Taylor dropping some knowledge on this episode, man. Shit.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't even realize that we had started recording. I just thought we were having a conversation.
That's exactly the, that's what we try to do.
This is. That's what this is, you know. And
we've been going for about 30 minutes.
Okay. Well.
And you're doing great. I mean, this is some real shit, man. And people need to hear, because I needed reminders myself, you know. Like, everybody needs a reminder occasionally. Yeah. And it's so true, man. Like we were listening to that Denzel.
Oh, it was great.
That motivational from Denzel last night. And he's like, you know, it's lonely on the top. And you don't really get much value up there because you already climbed. And there's something about struggle. There is just something about that. It's struggle creates strength. And like, that's something that means so much to me. Like, it hits my feels. My Pisces fish make me want to open up the tear ducts because it's serious, man. And like, I've been through it. Like, I remind myself, like, I'm like, dude, like, life is really good today, and that's because I know where life was a year ago.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's good, too, because now you can help people who are, like, in similar situations that you have been in. Like, I gravitate towards, like, single moms or, like, young girls because I know how it feels to be in that position. And I know how hard it was for me and that struggle for me, you know? So whenever I see, like, really single moms, but, like, even younger girls, I always try to tell them, like, you have to realize, like, you're 19 years old. You have so much time ahead of you. You have so much to do right now. And if you start right now, there's so much that you could accomplish by the time that you're my age. And I don't want to see you my age in the same spot that I am. I want to see you doing better than me. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, that's the message that I kind of try to put out there. And there's a couple people that I have gravitated towards, and I've tried to, like, put that out there. And sometimes they're receptive and sometimes they're not. And I understand it because at 19, I wasn't always, you know? So I get it. But I just try my best to, like, let them know, like, hey, if you do need anything, like, I'm here. And I know how it feels because I've been there. So don't be ashamed or afraid to come to me because I got you, no matter what it is. I have this one specific girl that I was working with at this restaurant recently, and I told her, like, you know, it doesn't matter what time of day it is. If you need something, you can always call me. Like, I literally will stop everything I'm doing and I will answer the phone for you. And the reason why is just because I felt her energy and I know what that feels like to be in her place. So hopefully she, like, accepts that invitation.
Has she hit you up at all? Or?
She has a couple times. We haven't gotten together since we stopped working there, but hopefully we will. So
maybe just shoot her a quick text once we're done. Be like, yo, how you doing? Like, what's been good with you? Because that it's in, like, once you've struggled, like, you almost have a responsibility to, like, help other people know that it's gonna be okay. Like that you can. Because when you're in the struggle, sometimes when you're not an optimistic struggler, like, even though I was struggling, like, I still believed problems were opportunities.
Yeah.
I always believed that. But I was still struggling. But not everybody has a mentality where they're trying to look at problems like they just got problems.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there's a bit of responsibility to anybody that is stable, that has seen some shit and gained information from that and grew from that. Like, you got a responsibility to help others. And I feel like you don't do it, you do it for the other people, right?
Selflessly.
Yeah.
You have to be selfless in that. I mean, it takes, you know, fight or flight mode. You gone through it. But it also takes a little bit of, you know, putting yourself out there, which is loyalty, which you said. You can count on me anytime. Honesty, you're going to shoot it to them straight, right? You've been in their shoes. And, you know, it's good to have that kind of mentor. When I was 19, people would tell me stuff like that, you know, that would help me. Oh, you know, do this, that, you know, adjust this, and you'll be in a good place at this age. Sure, you take some of that with a grain of salt and a spice of pepper when you're 19 because you're like, fuck, I'm untouchable. You know, the world's my oyster. I'm going to shuck that sumbitch. But it's good to have some of that good guidance and knowledge, and it's good to pay it forward, too.
Yeah. I definitely didn't listen to a lot of things at 19. And I think, like, to be honest, looking back, I don't even think that, like, mentally I could grasp it. Like, I wasn't there yet, you know? My brain wasn't, like, I couldn't get what anyone was saying. So a lot of it, I just kind of, if I do say something and they don't take it or they don't, like, seem to grasp onto it, then I'm just kind of like, I just let it go. But, because I know I've been 19 too, you know? And I'm sure when I look back and I'm like, dang, I remember when I was 23, I didn't know anything. Or I remember when I was 27, I didn't know anything, you know? It's kind of how I look at life. And your parents will tell you this all the time and you just don't listen to them because you're like, they don't know anything. But
and then you get older and you remember that they told you that shit and you're like, fuck, they were
but you
so
don't
right.
you never admit that
so
they were
right.
right. Like, never to their face, at least.
Yeah, that's true. Because we all kind of know, like, damn it, Mom was right about that. Or Dad told me this was going to happen. And shit, it's happening. You know?
It's so true.
But that's
so
life
true.
lessons. That's live and learn.
Yeah.
You know? And if you can pass it down, then that's great. You know? Living a single mom in her 20s, I'm sure, has carried a lot of weight and has taught you a lot of experiences quickly that a lot of people don't necessarily. I mean, I'm 32, no kids, so it's something I've never experienced.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely had some times together, and I feel like we grew up together, you know? Like, we're still growing up, but, like, a lot of it we had to, like, she had to figure it out, and I had to figure it out, too. Like, I don't know what we do here, but yes, we're gonna figure it out, because what's your other option?
Yeah, there
To
is no
just
other
not
option.
do it?
Yeah, you can either figure it out or you can let it defeat you.
Yeah.
You know, do you want to be victorious in the arena of life? Like, and that's the thing. Like, and I say arena because it's kind of a battle. Like, you gotta fight. Like, you gotta fight for what is important to you, and there's always going to be an opposing opinion, no matter what your thought process is. But then there's also going to be a huge following too. So it's like, it's very interesting, like how, because we have a choice, like how we want to conduct ourselves. Like, anytime anybody enters into a room, right? Like, everybody carries their own energy.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own energy, and when you walk into a room, when Kevin walks into a room, the room's energy changes. And so it's like, I've always kind of looked at that, like, what kind of energy do I want to carry, and what kind of energy do I want to bring into this room? Because if people believe that or not, or know about it or don't, it's still affecting them. You know, so like everybody has that power. Everybody has the power of their own personal energy, and we can project that. Like, are you going to be the type of person that's complaining about your problems all the time, or are you going to be the type of person that's trying to get out of the woods? Like, are you trying to defeat your problems? Like, what you know, so it's like those kind of questions are important, and it's just it's wild. I mean, because everyone's going to have their own experience.
Yeah, and everyone has their own opinions on what's the right way to be proactive or reactive kind of to different situations, right? We're kind of coming up from that proactive response where a lot of people treat life as reactive. Well, I'm just going to check the boxes, and whenever's thrown at me, I'll deal with it then, you know, rather than trying to really get ahead of this thing and, you know, before it catches them off guard. But, you know, everybody's different. Everyone's going to have their own approach to it, and there's more than one way to skin a cat, you know? I mean, there's not one right way to go about life, I don't feel like. But, you know, surrounding yourself with successful people,
Sexual people?
No, successful.
I literally thought he said this.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with sexual people, you know.
I think they're very nice people, and they, you know, create great experiences.
Very nice people.
You know, sex is also a part of life. So success in sex, you know, experiences, being open to learning, and also teaching others. I feel like, you know, I just came up with the 5-finger scale there on the fly.
On the fly.
Of 5 things that could really
Bro,
benefit success.
It's true shit.
Just right off the top of your head, too.
You know, sometimes you just got to act like you know shit when I don't know anything.
That's the hashtag own it.
Own it.
You got to hashtag own
Sometimes
this
you gotta own
motherfucker.
No, but shit. I mean, we're talking real shit. And
We
then,
are.
you know, getting a little bit off topic, I want to go back into the astrology because I still don't really understand it.
Okay.
So we have the earth, the fire, the wind, and the water signs.
Yeah.
Now, is that divided up, because we have 12 months in the year, right? So if we divide it into quarters, is there 3 signs per?
Yes,
So there's
yeah.
3 water, 3 fire, 3 earth, and 3 whatever I missed.
Yes.
Wind.
Yes.
And we determined that I'm a Gemini, which means I'm wind, right?
Yes. Yeah?
What does that really mean, though?
I have no idea.
Okay.
All I know is that you have 2 personalities.
Yep. Maybe more. Maybe more. I don't know.
Yeah, for
We haven't
sure.
seen. We've seen a couple, but
Yeah. I mean, I'm not super like knowledgeable about certain zodiac signs, like not all of them, you know. Some people really study it.
yeah.
I specifically know about mine,
Fire.
and then a couple that I've interacted with because I've interacted with them. So like Sagittarius's, I tend to really we get along so well. We're like actually one of the most compatible signs. And every single Sagittarius that I meet, I absolutely love.
Sagittarius.
I mean, there are times, I guess, where we do butt heads, but we're fire and fire, so what do you expect, you know?
It's gonna happen.
But, yeah, no, we're great. I also really love Leos. They're also fire. So
Leo.
Aries, Leos, and Sagittarius are the 3 fire signs. And we all get along very well. Leos are very into themselves.
Oh, yeah. My friend Mark's a Leo.
Mark, if you're listening, bro, you are fucking into yourself.
Which I guess I don't mind as much because I'm a little into myself also.
Hey, that's all right.
And that's a good thing. There's a balance there.
I mean, there's some people look at it as arrogance, and I kind of look at it as confidence. So
There's a big deception there
And
between
there's a
arrogance
huge
and
line
confidence.
there.
There is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really depends on which side of that line you want to, lean on, because
Yeah.
it can go either way really rapidly.
I had this boss at Comcast, and he was a Leo and I was an Aries, and he would like come over and like do like side by sides with me all the time, and we would just sit there and talk for a very long time just because like we vibe together. And he would tell me like people think all the time that I'm like super arrogant and they just don't understand me, and I'm like, no, it's cool, like I get you, like you're fine. But it's just because we kind of both almost have that like it's not an arrogance, but just kind of like pride in ourselves, like.
Yeah. You own it.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. Like once you've like, you're confident in yourself. You don't got shit to prove to anybody else. All right. Like you don't care what the fuck Bob or Joe or Joanne has to say. You don't give a shit. Like that's when like you kind of break the chains of anybody's expectations of yourself, and that's when you really become free. And that's when you become like people look at you like you're an oddball, or like you're into yourself, like you're saying, or like that, this person's not following the social norms, so they're weird.
Yeah.
But truly you don't care what anybody thinks, and you're unapologetically yourself. And that's a great place to be.
It is a great place to be.
Well, and it's funny too because there's also like, because you guys were talking about like sexual people. I don't know if you guys have read like what is it called? Not The Laws of Attraction, but there's another one that he wrote, the same book. What is it?
I've heard of Laws of
Law of
Attraction.
Attraction are a good one for sure. We know some of them.
The Art of Seduction. Have you guys
Okay.
read it?
I haven't read it.
Okay, so it's so crazy. So many people fall into like different categories. Everybody's something different, and then there's sirens, who are basically like very sexual people. They use their sexuality to kind of manipulate situations and get what they want. And then the guy version of that would be like a rake. And they use like famous examples so you kind of like can see like these type of peoples. And so I read this book, and I think I'm like a star. And a star is basically kind of somebody who not only seduces men in a way, but also women. Like I kind of draw attention from all sides, and I very much own it. And I don't know if that's my Aries size, but I very much own it, and I'm just not afraid to like walk into a situation and be literally the center of attention, and that's okay with me. I tend to choose like the most over the top outfits and just something that's gonna be very attention grabbing, and I'm okay with that.
Well, I mean, you're killing it today, and the boots look good. No one can see your boots on the camera, but they got like, the boots are popping with your outfit, right? Because you got the black, and then you got the brown, the brown jacket or beige, but then your boots are like a suede pink purple.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. And it took me a while to pick this outfit. But I picked this outfit specifically for you guys, just so you know that. I was like, I gotta make sure that I like get dressed up and that I'm like
No, that's a
on
star.
point.
Yeah,
That's that star mentality.
That is a star.
Yeah,
I get it now. I get it.
You look great tonight, so by all means,
Well,
hell yeah.
Thank you. That's so funny. And it's funny too because I was like, when you called me and you were like, "Hey, do you remember that we're gonna do this?" I had remembered, but I didn't think it was so close.
It came quick.
And I was like, okay, I gotta get ready. And so I literally spent like the whole week thinking about this. Like, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna wear. I gotta make sure I'm there at this time. Like, and I was just like in my mind preparing for it the entire time. And I have no idea what we were gonna talk about, but.
Here we are.
But
We're just kind of running
you
with it.
have the correct energy. And
I agree.
That's always been our basis.
Yeah, good
Well,
energy,
good.
good conversation, good people, good experiences.
Well, I wasn't too nervous about it because I know we've sat down and we've had conversations before, and I'm just like, I mean, it's just, we're just gonna
Same
talk.
thing. It's
We're
like
gonna
same
talk
thing.
about something.
Yeah, same shit.
So
Something's always going to happen. Yeah,
it's gonna be okay.
it is.
So.
And this is. I mean, we still got more juice, but this has been a juicy episode.
There has. And you know what's crazy? We have a word of the week this week.
We do.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, well, I don't know what the word of the week is, so explain it.
Okay, so the word of the week segment, which a lot of our viewers and listeners know has been MIA for weeks.
Yeah, sorry guys.
And a lot of that is just because we've had a lot going on. The episodes have run long. We haven't had time to work in a lot of the word of the weeks. So we have submissions from our viewers or listeners that will send in words to try to stump us. And they don't even need to necessarily be like $1 million words, just like fun words that have unique meanings or words that a lot, because we've had listeners be like, oh, that's an easy one. Or we'll get one that nobody knows what it is. It's just a word, and we kind of run with it. But So this word of the week is actually brought to you by my girlfriend.
Okay.
Yeah, Brandy sent this one.
Brandy, what's
She-
up?
Yep, and
From Parker, Colorado.
from Parker CO, coming in hot. So the word of the week is brooch. Okay, and so it's a noun.
Okay.
So
Like the jewelry? Like a brooch?
So okay, yep. So so a brooch, and I had no idea what this word was or what
Okay,
it really
okay,
represented.
Okay.
And
I think
so
Taylor's onto something, but
I think she knows it, so I'm gonna let Art take a stab at it because I think you already know what it is. I didn't know what this word was.
okay. Well, can you define? Is there a definition?
Well, no, you're supposed to. The word of the week is you take a stab at it.
No, but usually there's like
Used in a
wait,
sentence?
yeah, used in a sentence, not the definition, but a sentence. Yes.
All right, let's see. Let's see if we can use this thing in a sentence without me giving away the
So,
meaning.
Taylor.
I feel like I gave it away all the way. Sorry.
So could you use it in a sentence then?
Oh,
my
man,
gosh,
it's
you cracking me up right now.
yeah. I think now that she kind of touched on what it is, it's gonna be tough to use in a sentence.
Okay, so I know it's a piece of jewelry. All right, I think it goes in the hair.
Okay, so that's the part we need to nail down here.
So I'm gonna take a stab at it. It's like something that helps hold your hair. It's a brooch. I don't know.
I think it's a decent stab at it. Taylor, you know what it is, so I'm going to let you take it away.
I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it's just like a pendant almost. Like you just like pin it on you.
Okay.
It's like a brooch.
That's exactly what it is. It's like an ornament, a piece of jewelry, some sort of item that is added to clothing, particularly pertains to women's clothing. It's a
Okay.
brooch. So like, we use tie clips and things like that, so it's like, oh, look.
Did she know that we had a female coming
Yeah,
in
I
here?
know. I feel.
She did.
Okay.
she did?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, she did. And she was like, she's like, she's going to get it. I was like, Arthe and I will be stumped, which probably most likely
Okay,
was the
I
case.
have a word too.
I
Oh,
feel-
let's go.
I feel like this is a little cheating, but because I gave that one away, I got
Okay.
a word for you guys.
Okay, hell
and
yeah.
hopefully I say this right, but the word is redimency.
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 And can you use that in a sentence for us, please?
Ooh,
Redimency.
redimency.
I feel like I've heard this word.
I don't know this word.
I guess the way that he felt about me was redimency.
So it's an adjective. It's a describing word. Mm-hmm. That's about as far as I've gotten.
I'm thinking embellished. Like is a synonym. Like you're completely like redimency is to be enveloped. Like you're not obsessed, but you're kind of consumed about something.
Okay.
I think that's a pretty good stab, Art.
I do too. I feel like you're really on the right path.
Okay.
Redimency. Yeah, I mean, it could be like, really involved, really maybe a little bit obsessive at times. It could be, it could be a couple things.
Okay,
Redimency.
let's break it down. Reda.
Mency.
Mency.
It's almost like the mency part makes me think it's like describing almost like a condition or a specific type of behavior.
Yeah, what is mincy?
Okay. I can see that.
And what is reda?
Well, we're digging
I
at
have
it.
no idea. I'm going to tell you how this came about.
Okay.
I was
That's a
working
good
at the
story.
Cherry Creek Center, and we rent out offices there, and like we do here. And there's this one group of girls there, and they have like a boutique. And their name of their boutique was Redimency.
Okay.
And on their card, it had a description of what the word meant. And so that's how we kind of figured out what it was, because I had never heard this word before. But basically, it just means to, and hopefully I say this right, to love somebody equally the same way that they love you. So to unconditionally love somebody and have them unconditionally love you in return.
So
That's redimency.
Redimency. Okay, it's kind of starting to make sense now. Like it's like redeeming, kind of like I'm trying to find
It's the opposite of unrequited love. Is
of
what it is.
what opposite of what?
Unrequited love.
Unrequited.
You know when you
turned into an English
unrequited.
lesson.
Unrequited means that like. Unrequited means that like you love somebody and they don't love you in return.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So
I
unrequited.
have heard that.
Okay, so obviously
Redimency.
redimency is what you want to achieve when in a relationship.
Yeah.
Redimency noun. The act of loving in return.
Bullseye.
Yeah.
That's a great word.
That's a great. We just had a lot
Taylor,
of juicy words.
way to kill the
Yes.
word of the week. Damn.
Because I messed up the first one. Sorry.
You didn't mess it up. You got it. So you actually won the word of the week.
And then you also provided a word of the week. So that's
That's a double
a
wham.
That's
Double
a
whammy.
DCPC first right
Yes.
Welcome back, word of the week segment. Yeah,
All right. Awesome.
that was good.
Well, you'll have to fill your girlfriend in on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna let her know. She was like, yeah, she's gonna get it. Like, wow, okay.
You know why I knew what it was too, and this is very corny, is because I grew up in the 90s, and on Disney Channel, they had this movie with Lindsay Lohan called Get Out. I think that's what it's called, or Get a Clue.
Oh, Lindsay Lohan.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like somebody steals this brooch, and they have to go and find it.
And so they're talking about brooches the whole time.
and that's kind of how I knew.
That's
it
how you.
was.
So you had a little bit of a lead.
Okay.
That's okay though. Hey, knowledge comes from many places.
So I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Now we know what brooches are.
Yes.
And relevancy is what I'm trying to achieve in all my friendship goals and all my relationship goals once I get back there.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I
good. I
mean,
think it's a good state.
feel like everybody should be. I hope.
Yeah, like equal love. And it's like, I don't know. I think that's an important word of the week because it's like even playing field. You know what I'm saying? Like that's powerful, you know, to have that equilibrium of emotional input and emotional, yeah. You guys know what I'm
I
trying
smell
to
what you're stepping in.
say. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think as like we get older, we kind of realize that is very rare.
It is
Especially in today's day and age, and I think that it's getting
worse.
yeah,
It's getting worse. I think it'll continue to get worse before it gets
Yeah,
better. I mean,
for sure.
going back to what we talked about in the beginning of the app when you didn't realize we were recording, you know, just the nature that everyone's at right now with e-commerce and social media and complacency, you know, and it's just a weird time. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, it's definitely something that like social media, I feel like is killing almost like the idea of like true love and really being in love with somebody. Or like having real love with anybody, not even just in romantic relationships, but
Friendships,
Yeah, just
personal relatives.
like
It's impacted all of
together.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not talking Hallmark love, like a Hallmark love, I love you card. Like it's like a deep, compassionate, like I love you for being another human being on this planet. Like I love you for existing. Like I feel like that's where a lot of people slip into the negative is because they don't love people who are different than them, or they don't accept it, or they don't love people who have different opinions. Like, you know, you can still have love in your heart and disagree with somebody.
Of course.
You know?
And that's something we've lost touch with too.
Well, kind of bringing it a little bit deeper too, I think that also bringing it full circle, this world kind of promotes the fact that like if somebody is not like up to par, they're not worth having that love, you know? Like if somebody is at a low point, he don't have money, he doesn't have anything, like what can he provide for you? He's not worthy of your love, which is such a messed up thing to promote to people. Like everybody deserves to be loved no matter what their circumstances, and that's not something that like we show in today's day and age at all.
Like no compassion.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So true. It almost compartmentalizes and forces the expectations upon the youth that are looking for love of what you need to be looking for.
Yeah.
And it puts everybody into a bracket which is completely unnecessary. You know, it's compartmentalized, all of it.
Which also kind of leads back to that, like, if I'm not here by this age, then I'm unworthy of, like, being loved or being successful or doing anything with myself or with my life, which is such a, like, wrong message to send.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what we want to be teaching our kids or what we want them to think growing up at all, you know?
Absolutely.
Like, if we stopped and we think about, like, our children and, like, the future, even people who don't have children, is this something that you really want your kids to think? You know, is this something that you really want people to feel about you if you were in that position or in those people's shoes? Is that how you would want people to see you? And that's something I don't think we ever really do, for the most part. Some people do. Not enough.
Not enough. No, not enough. It's true. When you break it down that way, it's kind of scary. It's a little bit alarming, too, because everyone's being judged now on a social status rather than who they are as a person.
Yeah.
What really matters is what's within.
Yeah.
You know, the love that they can be shared and given, you know, what was it, reticency?
Reticency.
Reticency.
That reticency, let's get back to that reticency hitter, and get away from this fake, I don't know if fake's the right word, but it almost is, because it's like, oh, you're not good enough for me, or this person's too good for me. How did we get there? There was a time where it was just everybody's equal, everyone's on the same playing field. If love happens, great. Now it's like, well, he didn't go to college, he doesn't make over $50,000 a year.
Dude is not 6 foot.
He's not 6 foot. Maybe not packing.
He's balding.
Yeah, he's balding. He's got problems. Those kind of underlying things are now determining if you can love this person.
Yeah.
And same on the female side too. I mean, it goes back the other way. Oh well, she's not, a blonde and not a certain height.
Or
is not
a
endowed
weight,
well,
or
all that bullshit.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that like our families and our friends feed into it too. Like, oh, you like him, but he doesn't drive a Bentley. He doesn't have 6 figures. Like, what can he do for you? If he's not financing you, then, like, I watch these, like, TikToks and stuff, and there's so many of them that's like, well, if a man isn't, like, paying your bills, then what is he doing for you? And it's like, I've never been the type to be like, I want someone who pays my bills, because I pay my own goddamn bills. I don't need you to.
And that's sexy.
Like,
that's hot.
I don't need you to. There's things that I need you for that no amount of money could ever provide. And if you don't understand that, then we can't be on the same level.
Yeah, because it's all materialistic.
Yeah. But what I need from you is not materialistic, because I can go get anything
For real.
material by my goddamn self.
Yeah.
I didn't need you for that at all.
Yeah, we need friends, we need partners, we need people who hold us accountable, like like that are real with us, that are vulnerable, like and not this surface level bullshit. My life is so nice, let me post these pictures. Like, nah, there's more to it than that.
Yeah.
And it's so much deeper than the type of car you drive, or like if you are basing your life on those type of things, and that is how you equate to happiness, is on materialistic things, then I challenge you to challenge yourself, because you're wasting your time and energy. You can't look. This was Denzel too. I'll when I'm quoting people, I'll try to do my best to call him out. But like, you ain't ever seen a fucking U-Haul behind a hearse. Like, you don't take anything with you. You don't get to take anything with you.
So true.
That's true. Very true.
Yeah, it goes back to what we were saying earlier. I mean, when God or whoever pops in the DVD of our life to be judged at the end of it and looks back and all, what's going to matter? It's not going to be the Beamer, Benz, or Bentley, the big house. It's not going to be the 6, 7, 8 figures in the bank account. What does that do for you?
Yeah, like, how did you treat people?
What did you learn? What did you learn? What did you teach? Right? That's what it's about. We're here to learn. We're here to have experiences. We're here to inspire others, to share visions and dreams. And I mean, that's my vision of what life is. Some people have different priorities, have different visions, and those don't always mesh. But you're right. We have gotten completely misguided, and social media has not helped. Dating sites have not helped. Family members have not helped. Previous entitlement has not helped. I mean, the entitlement mentality has been detrimental to relationships for a long time.
Yeah. That's very true.
That is real shit. I'm happy that you went deeper there, because these are the kind of conversations that are too often overlooked. I feel like people don't really want to be vulnerable. Like they don't want to like really put it out there, because then like they can get judged, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's really important to open up about this stuff.
I don't know. I feel like I'm like that too, and honestly, it's probably just because I didn't realize we were recording and I had a couple beers that I'm this open, to be honest.
It's real shit.
But also, like, I've been kind of trying to force myself to be a little bit more out there. If you, like, look at my social media, it's very contained and very, like, just what I want people to see. And I feel like part of that is just the fact that, like, I don't want my entire life to be out there. But another part of that is kind of just protecting myself and being like, hey, this is my wall, and not really putting myself out there, which is kind of, like,
I mean,
a good thing and a bad thing,
it
you
is.
know?
Well, I mean, and, like, I don't know if this is off or anything, but, like, you're an attractive younger woman, and like, I know men in general can be extremely weird and creepy, right? So there is that important, like, you have to set your boundaries, and that's for anybody, right? And so I think social media is good in those sort of senses, but do you ever put out anything on social media where it's like kind of like some of the things you talked about on this podcast?
No, I feel like I kind of set out to do that, and then I kind of pull it back, and that's what I mean by, like, kind of protecting myself and not really putting myself out there. I feel like I used to be a lot more vocal on my social media, and then, like, kind of experiences and having my daughter had me kind of pull back. And so I almost never post pictures of her, and my friends will post pictures and stuff, and I'll just be like, did you post that? Like, why did you do that? You know what I mean? It's more just like a protective thing of trying to, like, want to keep that private. And
Keep
so,
it a
like,
little sacred.
yeah, and I know that there's, like, a lot of people who are, like, famous that do that too, and I can completely understand why. That's not something that I ever, like, want out there, is, like, everything that we do and detailing our entire lives,
Yeah,
and knowing
you don't want
everything
people
about
to
her.
know where
because
you're
first of all,
at
my
and, like-
social media is, like, me, not her.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Yes, she's part of my life, but she doesn't have to be all over the place. And I'm lucky enough that, like, her dad also almost never posts pictures of her either. We're kind of on the same page when it comes to that. But I do feel like I've kind of used that sometimes as a scapegoat to not put my own art and my own stuff out there and kind of keep it personal and private to myself.
Okay.
Which is not always a good thing, because I do want to get into more, like, putting my stuff out there. And people actually, I don't know why, but they follow me. And they think that I do all these, like, big things, and I'm like, I don't really do anything. They, like, will hit me up and be like, hey, can we work together? And I'm like, on what? And they're like, I don't know, whatever you work on. And I'm like, okay.
You're like, what are you talking about right now, bro?
Whatever that is. Yeah, we can work together. But yeah, so I don't know. I really do want to challenge myself this upcoming year to kind of embrace my own art and my own voice and kind of put myself out there a little bit more. I have this book. It's like a wooden book that one of my friends gave me. He knows that I'm a writer, and he's also a writer, and so he made these, like, they're literally like wooden panels, and he's like, here you go, it's blank, you can do whatever you want with it. So I've painted all of the pages already and, like, cemented them to where they're, like, literally painted. But I haven't finished writing. So eventually, like, I'm going to write pieces to go on every page. And my whole theme for the book is kind of centered around this legend that the sun and the moon are in love with each other. And that God decided that there was nothing greater than true love. And so as a symbol, he created an eclipse as a sign to say that, like, there's nothing that could, like, keep true love apart. And so that's my whole theme for the entire book. Like I said, I've already painted all the pieces, but I'm kind of writer's block when it comes to writing. I've only written, like, 3 pieces. So I'm working on that. And that's kind of something I'm thinking about putting out, and I don't know exactly yet how I'm going to put it out there.
Put it out there, like, and I think it's beautiful what you're talking about. Like,
Yeah.
I'm getting a picture of, like, how this, I think it's great, a great outlet. But maybe put it out there as part of the creation process, so that way people can see as it's coming to be.
Yeah.
You know, because you're still working on it.
I am still working.
But you're
on it.
excited about it. You got some. So you painted. So you have all this, like, art done on all the wooden panels and.
Yeah. So it's all painted already. I might ask for some more panels just to add some pages, but it's probably like 15 pages.
Nice.
Do you ever do, like, anything on Etsy?
I do not.
I didn't even know what Etsy was till about a year ago, but I know that's a good source to reach people that are interested in specific artwork or, books, writings, what have you. It's a good way to sell your stuff. I've never danced with Etsy, but I hear it's a good way to do it.
I mean, I'm not really a painter, to be honest. I kind of just did my best, and people were like, oh, yeah, it looks really good. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure. But I have been writing for a very long time, and I do have a couple pieces that I've written for it. I just haven't quite finished it. Mm-hmm. I've been working on it for
the muse will come. Like, you can't force the creative gene to just happen. Like maybe tonight, like, you're going to go back, and after talking about it and kind of, having this excitement, and, like, like, maybe you'll be like, oh, and then it'll just click. I used to create a lot of, like, hip hop rap music, and I remember this one time, and this is just talking about how creativity hit me.
Yeah.
we had this dude. My mom has always been super open arms, like, you know, I'll help out people, like, whatever. And this dude was just, he was staying with us, but he was drinking a shit ton of rum, and he drank so much. And, like, he, like, came down into my room one night, because I had an open door, and he was just wasted. And I like, bro, go sleep in your bed. Like, you don't need to use my couch, sort of thing, you know, like, go upstairs, like. And then I went to go to sleep, but then later that night, like, it just hit me, and like, I had this whole song.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, drink, 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 sip, sip, sip. There goes your life is so pathetic. Like, and then just, like, went on this whole theme, and, like, I wrote out this whole song, like, within 30 minutes, like, as I was halfway asleep.
Yeah.
And so you never know when creativity will hit you.
When it hits you.
You don't
I
know.
always keep, like, a pen and paper on me just in case, for sure. There's been times at, like, 2 o'clock in the morning I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh, okay, this is it.
This is the one.
I was on the beach in Santa Monica last weekend, or the weekend before, and I passed by this hotel, and I was like, it's like a Taylor Swift song that played in my head, and I was like, this is it. And I just kind of, like, started writing, like, right there on the beach, like, all right.
Got to capture it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, right in the moment.
You have to.
Which you get the best results.
It's true. And Taylor Swift, you mentioned her. She said something, because when I got into songwriting, she mentioned a quote that I related to, and she said, you know, songwriting is like clouds. When you look at them, you know, you see one thing, but if you wait too long to write down what you're seeing, they start to change shape and eventually fizzle out and move away.
That's a great analogy.
It is, and it's always stuck with me when songwriting. Like, when you have that idea, get it down now, because it's going to start to fizzle and take different shapes.
Yeah, and your feelings change, and your thoughts about it will change too. And then you'll be like, dang, I don't feel the same way that I thought about that when I was writing it, or when I thought about it, you know? So the piece that I was writing, it's called I Seen It All, which is, like, a classic, like, Taylor, like, would that definitely be a Taylor Swift song, right?
Okay.
And it was basically just, I was passing by this hotel, and it was, like, set up for, like, a wedding, and I was like, oh, like, and it's just, like, life that almost happened, I just pictured in my head, and I, like, seen how, you know, for the past however many years I pictured this life with somebody, and how we were going to get married, and our wedding day, and just everything in our whole life events. And I just kind of sat down and started writing it, like, right there on the beach. It was crazy, but it was so nice to be there, because I was kind of out of my element, and I could really think about stuff.
That's good. That's a good place to be.
I love it.
Getting out of your, you know, normal zone is a good place to create, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's break the complacency. Let's break the routines. Like, we're all stuck in our own routines, so let's change them a little bit, and that's how we can change our lives. And it's important to, like, see those moments and, like, see value in those moments.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to search for that. You know, coming from being an addict on opiates, doped up all the fucking time, like at this point, like, I really enjoy the now a lot, and I recognize that. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, when you're in that moment at the beach and you see this hotel, and like, you just you grabbed it, like, you just grabbed that moment. And I'm sure when you were painting, like, it just hits you, and you just grab that moment. So, like, let's all remember, like, we got 5 seconds to make a decision. Like, we're going to want to do something that we want to do, but then within 5 seconds, our brain is going to start trying to convince us that, nah, you don't need to do that. Nah, it's too much work. Nah, this, nah, that. It's so just do it immediately. Like, if you want to do something,
do it.
Then just do it right then and there. Like, there's no time like the present to capitalize on, man.
So true, man. The 5-second rule has definitely been a game changer. We've all experienced it. You know, you have a thought coming, I'm going to go do this, and then if you don't do it right away, your mind will try to talk you out of it. You know, I'm not going to go talk to that person. I'm not going to take a leap of faith here. I'm not going to jump on that roller coaster, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Roll the dice, take a chance.
Honestly, that's how the entire trip was for me, because I wasn't planning on going. I was actually going to go to Dallas to see my sister. And, like, kind of last minute, she canceled. And I was like, well, dang, I already have, like, the weekend off. Like, I still want to do something. Mm-hmm. So I decided to go First, I was going to go to Florida, and my friend was like, no, let's go to California. It's much cheaper. And I was like, okay. And she bailed last minute.
Oh, no.
And I was like, you know what? I'm still going to fucking go. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to go by my fucking self. Like, I don't even need anybody. So I booked this trip, and I got the non-refundable one, so I couldn't back out.
Oh, good for you. At least
I
you still stuck to it.
the red eye at 5 o'clock in the morning and flew to California by myself and spent the whole time there. And I honestly loved it. And I, like, every day I'm like, dang, I really wish I could go back there and just be there because it was so peaceful. And I remember sitting there and just kind of getting lost in, like, where I was. I had to keep reminding myself, like, oh, shit, you're in California right now. Like,
Yeah.
you're just, like, on the beach. And I was just like, I had a great time with myself.
That's true.
That's so good. Some of my favorite vacations have been on my own. I love
Yeah.
just traveling to different places, seeing different sights, smells, tastes, what have you. Taking in the ocean. So nice.
It's
so nice.
It's crazy. I'm going to step out for, like, 1 second.
Oh, yeah,
I will
please
be
do.
right back.
Absolutely.
Please do. I'm close to busting my bladder open as well.
Are you?
Oh, my God.
Well, I mean, you know, it's tough when we have a couple pregame beers. We jump into the episode.
You could hear her, right?
She's hoofing it.
Oh.
She's been a good guest, though.
No,
man.
this has been great, man. And, like, it's just, it's super refreshing to, like, you know, hear Taylor's perspective on things, you know, and hear, you know, how she sees it, because it's so important, man, to do some of the things that, you know, going by yourself on a trip, or, you know, exposing yourself to art, and, you know, trying to create something, or, you know, being there for other people, you know, using your experiences to help other people learn.
That's living.
You know?
That's living. It's taking chances, enjoying the experiences, you know, something we talk about a lot on here, man. It's just, you know, life is what you make of it. Where do you want to put your energy? What do you want to experience today? You know, put yourself out there. Try something new. Take a trip by yourself. I mean, you did it. I've done it. She did it.
Mm-hmm.
They're great experiences. It's a great way to unwind. You know, if you got the finances to do it, take a weekend. Hop on a flight. Go somewhere you've never been. Chill. Get a little hotel. Ask the locals where there's some good food. You know, that's one benefit to social media and Yelp and Google Maps is you can just look it up. What's a good place to go around here?
Well, and that's the thing, too, like, especially with the whole traveling by yourself, and do you mind cracking that for her?
Oh,
Door.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, traveling by yourself can be intimidating, because it's like, well, who am I going to hang out with? Who am I going to spend my time? Like, a lot of people always need that input, right? Like, on their cell phones, or whatever the input is, you know, and so there is something going at it alone, you know?
It's nice, man. I you know, I did it young, going to NASCAR races by myself, trying different cuisines. That's one of my favorite things. When I travel, I want to know what's a good restaurant around. Not some chain that I can get where I'm from. What's a good local hitter? I want to go down there and try it. If I'm in Kansas City, obviously Jack Stack, I'm hitting that sucker.
Yeah.
You know, that's that KC barbecue. If I'm in San Diego, you know, I'm going to Roberto's. Yeah, they have a chain, they're franchise, but
It's so good.
Roberto's, I mean, come
Their
on.
surf and turf, bro, come on. It's delicious.
Roberto's is off the chain.
Last time I was in San Diego, I ate Roberto's 3 different times.
I ate it every day I was
so
there.
Good. One time I accidentally went to Roberto's because I didn't even realize it was Roberto's. I'm like, oh, there's a taco shop right there. I'm going to go to that. And it happened to be another Roberto's, bro.
Roberto's is so good. The California burrito is a hitter.
It is. It's so good.
My favorite. Yeah.
We were just talking food and like
how
important it is to go at it on your own, and like how you went on the trip by yourself. Like,
Yeah.
like those kind of experiences, you're never going to get that if you are complacent or you
My
need
turn.
to have somebody. Or, damn it, I wanted to go, Kevin.
I know, that's why I cut you.
We're all like drinking a lot of beers in here, but it's so true. Like, because I went to Seattle to go see my dad. Sure, I went to go see somebody, but like
Yeah.
I still flew out there by myself, and it was a great experience.
It's different when you go by yourself. And I thought, like, I was nervous about it at first, but then when I got to California, where I was in Santa Monica, there were so many people by themselves. Like, it wasn't weird at all. It wasn't like, oh, why is this girl here alone type of thing. You were just like, okay. Yeah, there were times where I was kind of like, dang, it would have been fun if I came with somebody, but I also just had a really great time by myself.
Well, and that's like it's almost like a sabbatical, but like shortened, right? It's not a 7 month journey, but like you are still learning a lot about yourself because you're putting yourself in like a new city, new situation, and it's a huge learning experience. And so I highly suggest to anybody, if you've never traveled by yourself, that like that's a good thing to do. Like,
Yeah.
and you kind of because you want to be comfortable, right? But like when you do that, you take yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit.
Yeah. I know, like, for me, I had to go on, like, a whole journey to kind of learn myself. And I remember there was a time in my life where I hated to be alone, which sounds really sad now looking back on it, but, like, I could not stand to be with myself.
Yeah.
And I would have never decided, like, hey, I'm going to go on a 2-night vacation alone. It would have just never happened for me. So it kind of just also shows me just how much I've grown and how much I've come to, like, really enjoy spending time alone and with myself, and I kind of just love the person that I've grown into too. So I think that that's somewhere people should go.
So I almost feel like that's like a good thing, because Kevin and we like to ask our guests, like,
Yeah.
look, if you could give one piece of advice to humanity, so to better humanity, all of humanity could listen to your advice, and everybody's gonna be better tomorrow from it. Like, what would your piece of advice be?
I mean, that's so much pressure. Wow. I guess just to do your best every day. You know what I mean? Because if you're really doing your best and you're really giving your best, like, nobody can ever ask anything more of you. You know, and if you know that you did your best, even if you fall short to other people, like, if you know in your heart you truly did your best, like, that's all you could do. So you should be happy with yourself. I guess that's it. Like,
Some of the best advice is simple.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be complicated.
You're not here to, like, please other people. You're here to make yourself happy. And that's just kind of what it comes down to. I think that's what I've really learned throughout the last 3 years of my life. Maybe more.
Yeah, just try your best every day. And what I really like what you said there is, like, you know, it doesn't matter what other people think. Like, if you didn't achieve what they wanted you to achieve, but you still, you know that you woke up and you gave it 100. You gave it 110. Like, how is anybody ever going to throw shade at somebody who truly, like, I think that's great advice.
It is.
I really do.
Yeah, simplicity at its best, for sure.
I think being a mom, I had to kind of understand too, like, you have a whole list of things that, like, you need to get done. There's no impossible way that you're going to get all of those done every day. So you have to just try your hardest to do what you know you can. And at the end of the day, like, it's going to be okay. Like, your kids are not going to think any less of you. You're not going to be a less of a person or not a good mom because you didn't accomplish all of the things on your list. Like, you do your best, and then tomorrow you try again.
For sure.
And that's what it is. There's no, like, handbook for life, and there's no handbook for being a parent, and there's no handbook for being an adult. Like, nobody knows. So you just get out there and you do what you think is best every single day. That's really what it comes down to.
Solid. That's so, yeah, absolutely. Just getting out of bed, getting after it.
Yeah.
Going to try to do something to better yourself, the people around you, you know, the family you care for, you know, just getting out there.
Yeah.
You got to put one foot in front of the other, you know, swing that hammer, click those keys on that keyboard, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
We got to keep this thing moving.
Yeah, so let's, the challenge, guys. The challenge this week, because, you know, the week ain't over yet. Like, I got more work to do. I'm going to stay hustling this week. I'm going to grind, you know, and whatever way it is. So let's make that the challenge this week. Like, let's for the month of December, fuck it. It's the 1st. It's dropping on the 2nd. This episode's dropping on the 2nd. We're recording on the 1st. Let's make that the challenge for December is let's give it 100%. Whatever your 100% is, not what anybody else's 100% is, but your 100%. Do that every single day this month. Like, we can totally accomplish so much and learn so much more about ourselves and what we're capable of. Because we've all been in a rut. We've all been stuck at one point in our lives, and we don't see anything else. So I like your advice, Taylor. Like, let's give it 100%. Let's be genuine and to ourselves. I mean, last week was
Thanksgiving.
well, yeah, but so Rinky said he was like, be true to yourself and be 100%.
Be true to yourself.
Yeah.
It's important. You got to be true to yourself before you can be true to others and the way you want to carry yourself. So yeah, it all starts there. Being true.
All right, I like this challenge, and I'm going to do something a little bold, and I'm going to invite myself back.
Yes.
In 4 weeks, so in a month from now, on January 1st, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about what we did this month.
Okay.
We'll make that work, even if it's just a
I'm,
short.
I'm down.
We're about to do this.
We'll squeeze it in.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're holding
Right, I
the
don't
feet to the
even know
fire.
if it's the right day of the week.
No, it's
That's okay.
It's okay. We're malleable here. We're
Yeah.
flexible.
We're flexible. I
I'm
think
trying to
that's-
look at the date here real quick. I want to pull up the calendar.
It's a good way to hold everyone's feet to the fire, so to speak. When we do these kind of challenges, we did No Shave November coming off of that. I don't know how much more we're going to do there. Maybe December, January. Who knows?
Okay.
No, we could totally fit in an extra episode on the first week of January. We could totally make that
We
happen.
can do
recap.
like a small one, too, and we can
Yeah.
just
Just a
kind of
short.
check progress and just kind of see where we are.
Good. That's a good
okay.
call.
So yeah, like, let's figure out what we want to achieve. Let's figure out how we can be 100% about that. Even if it's the little things, like, personally me, like, because I've been trying to, I'm single now. Like, I've, gotten over the opiates and shit. So I'm trying to challenge myself every day. Like, I make my bed every single morning. Like, every single morning I make my bed. And that's one little thing that I've challenged myself with that I've done. And so it doesn't have to be a huge challenge. It doesn't have to be a huge, I'm 100% this big thing. I'm 100% doing my laundry every single week. Just something that's tangible but will increase your quality of life. I feel like that's a great challenge.
It is.
Yeah. And the idea behind coming together is that we can celebrate together and kind of look at each other's progress and build each other up. So I think that will be helpful in, like, keeping us motivated.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Hey,
Taylor
teamwork
with
makes the
the
dream work.
positive energy. I love it.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I'll always do that.
Let's close the year strong. I like it. I'm with it. Let's
Yes.
go. 100%, baby.
Do you guys have any New Year's plans?
Well, I work in the booze business, so it's going to be pretty hectic
yeah.
leading up to it. But as far as New Year's night, no, I haven't got that far.
No.
I am up to do whatever. I'm down. If you throw something out there, I'll plan it with you, for sure.
Well, I don't have anything scheduled just yet, but
Let's throw a DC-PC party.
We could do something like that.
DCPC party.
We'll
I'll get
wreck
some,
this office. We're gonna wreck this office.
I'll get some nice Prosecco's,
Yeah.
some Rieslings, some nice sparkling Champagnes. We'll make a night of it.
Well, I am thinking about having a promotion party. I don't know if you guys
Okay.
want to come through. It's
Sure, we'll be
probably
there.
just going to be like
Yeah.
drinks and dinner, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll go over the deets
talk-
once we slap this stop
Yeah, we'll
button.
talk about that off air.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm down.
Unless you guys want to invite all of your viewers. To
Well, that's
come.
going to be a big party if we do that.
Yeah, for real. For real.
We would need to get the Pepsi Center. So,
Let's
or no,
go.
the Globe Arena now, whatever it's called. Excuse me, it's not
I
the
like
Pepsi
Pepsi
Center
Center more. Well,
Okay.
hell yeah! People keep pushing. Let's make this week, the rest of the week. Let's make it something that we can look back on and find strength within. Like, it's not done yet. We got the next week. We got next month. But like, what are you gonna do today? What are you gonna do today to grow yourself? Right? Like, are you gonna just do the same shit you do every day? Fuck that. Like, that's how I feel about life. That's the energy Taylor brought in here, crushing it. I know Kevin's about that. Kevin's been making changes this year. It's been
a great year.
phenomenal year. I love everybody tuning in.
Great year.
I'm very humbled to be here, man.
That's fantastic. Love being here every week. New experiences. Every day is a new opportunity. Every week's a new opportunity. It's just great. Let's close out 21 strong. 22 is going to be God knows what if the world's going to throw at us. We got to be ready for anything. Let's just take it one day at a time, man. When we get out of bed tomorrow, what are we going to do to better our lives tomorrow?
For sure.
That's the name of the game.
For sure. And Taylor, thank you so much for like opening up and being transparent about stuff, and like, because this episode could have went a lot of ways, but like, it was fucking real.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you and just being yourself and being open.
Yeah, no, I think that is, like, really cool that you guys have this going on. I think I've told you guys this before. Like, this is pretty awesome. There's so many people out there who, like, want to do something like this and just won't take that first step to do it. So I think that it's really awesome that you guys do this. And thank you guys so much for having me. I'm so excited. I'm going to just post it all over my social media.
We're going to have some fun with
With
it.
all of my followers that think I do something, so.
Hey,
You are doing things.
You're doing a lot of great things, and we appreciate you sharing some of your time with us this evening on DCPC. we're going to miss seeing you around the office here, but it sounds like we're going to be hanging out and doing some partying elsewhere.
yeah.
So, look, we're going to check in a month, see how we're doing with this 100%, getting after it. Let her rip tater chip, as I like to say. Let's go ahead and own it. Believe and achieve.
Believe and achieve, baby.
Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Give it 100. Be good to yourselves.
You deserve it.